Namaste. Welcome to the Truth is Authority channel, where by episodes, we are discussing the evolution of consciousness or Sthitaprajna to the state where every human being can reach a Sthitaprajna or ultimate equipoise. Today, we thought we will discuss the deathless factor that is pervading everywhere cosmically as consciousness or prajna and residing in every living object or non living object, sentient or insentient, everywhere. But yet, nobody is aware of the fact that there is a deathless factor inside everybody. It is customary in every Hindu household where bodies are cremated after death. And the Gita is always there, handy to provide the fact that only the body or the matter perishes, not the soul, which is residing inside it and surrounding around it everywhere in the cosmos. What was existent in outside the body entered the body at the time of birthing and leaves the body at the time of physical death. But easy to say, but difficult to understand and assimilate. But the fact remains that the consciousness is always perennially existing, birthless and deathless. Anything that is not born cannot be constituted to have a shape or meant to perish one day. It is a force, it's an energy that is residing everywhere, both outside and inside the body. Okay? In Vedanta, it is always an earthen pot is brought in for comparison. The air outside the pot and the air inside the pot have no shapes. Like water, air assumes the shape of its container, which is an earthen pot. Air was existing before the pot was made, and even when the pot is broken, the air will remain as it is, exactly as it is, qualitatively and quantitatively. So, as I said, when people die in Hindu households, the Gita is always remembered in two slokas, which specifically deals with the perenniality and the permanence of consciousness or prajna. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kletayantyapaha, na shoshayati marutaha. That is the first sloka. Nainam chindanti shastrani. Weapons cannot cleave it. Arjuna, as we know, is in the middle of the battlefield, and his chariot is brought into the middle of the two lines dividing the enemy lines and his own Pandava side. And Krishna is exhorting Vedanta to a confused warrior, saying that weapons cannot destroy. Weapons will destroy only the physical covering, but not the essence inside it. The essence inside everybody, all the people in both the armies are the same, has been the same forever, and will always be the same forever. Nainam dahati pavakaha. Fire cannot burn it. Nachainam kletayanti apo. Apaha. Apa means water. Water cannot wet the conscience. Nashoshayati marutaha. Wind cannot dry it. Wind cannot extract anything out of it to make it desiccated. So, nothing, no elements in the world, all the five elements are kept in abeyance in front of conscience or prajna. They have no effect on them. They're totally separate, although one lives inside the other, and yet they are separate. We as human beings, we are aware of this fact textually or theoretically, but it's very, very difficult to conceive it in actual terms. In When the fact has to come to term with the truth, it requires a lot of dedication. It requires a lot of daring, so to say, to make certain adjustments in your own faith or belief systems. So, Krishna just mentioned that uh, Nainam Chindanti Shastrani, weapons cannot destroy. Nothing can destroy the conscience. Conscience is ever pervading. It is without birth, without death. What we know as conscience is what is existing now. The nowness or the isness is the most significant factor to grasp in Vedanta. This very moment was there time immemorial, if you take it a linear approach. And this very moment will extend to infinity linearly. But factually, it is just one whole, as Vivekananda says. It has no center, it has no circumference. Its circumference is all embracing, and its center is also all embracing. So, such an object, we would try to conceive, we can only try to contemplate as Krishna advances through the principle throughout the Gita, at the end of which we hope we will all become slightly more wise than what we were yesterday without the Gita. Okay, and Achedyo in the next sloka, which is normally recited throughout the ritual until the fire burns the body to ashes. This is remembered, this is recited at the cremation ground, or at least from now on, those who are aware of this new fact should remember to chant this at least in mind, so that the atmosphere of condolence, if the actual social condolence is not upset, at least in the mind, we can chant this sloka, assuring that the one who just passed away in front of us, the one whose body is being carried to the graveyard or the cremation ground, nothing has happened to its real essence. Only the body has perished. Only the physical matter, which housed this conscience for so many number of years, only that has perished, but not the essence or the juice that gave energy, that energized existence for a short while in the gamut of time. Achedyoyam adahyoyam. It is unbreakable, uncleavable, adahyoyam, unburnable. It cannot be inflamed. Akledyo, ashoshya evacha. It cannot be wet. It cannot be dry also. Nityaha, sarvagataha sthanuhu. Nityaha means it may be difficult to. What is your concept of nitya or permanent? Permanent can be as uh, as solid as a piece of furniture, as solid as as a house in which we live in, as solid as something which can imagine, which has length, breadth, and depth, three dimensions or four dimensions. But again, that is as far as our mental faculty will take us when we try to define nitya or permanent. Whereas conscience is nitya from time immemorial. You cannot even say time, or you cannot tag it with time. It has ever existed. It has ever predated even known creation. Okay, nityaha, sarvagataha. It goes everywhere. There is no place in the cosmos where it cannot reach, where it cannot occupy. It occupies all known spaces to man, all known spaces within the universe and outside the universe, perhaps. Sthanuhu. At the same time, give it a shape, it is as permanent as a piece of wood. It is as strong and permanent as an anvil upon which a cobbler works. It is as permanent as anything you can imagine solid. Achalaha, unmovable. It does not move. Sanatanaha. It is permanent, again, perpetual. If perpetuity can be given a dimension, this is it. Conscience, ever present conscience, outside and inside sentient objects, outside the body, which in Sanskrit we call samashti. Inside a living object, inside a body, it becomes vyashti or vyakti. Vyakti is an individual encasement of consciousness, and samashti is the place where the consciousness escapes when the body dies. So, this is the another definition or an expansion of the meaning of of Prajna as we are trying to learn further in the Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna has assumed a shape and form, a sakara, a saguna uh, aspect to make the understanding, to make a nebulous factual understanding or of a nebulous concept. Because without actual props of physical objects, it is difficult for anyone to grasp nebulous ideas. So here we have Krishna throughout with us as a living guru, as in the pages of the Bhagavad Gita, giving us all the time advice and wisdom without having to travel anywhere. We don't have to go book a ticket to read the Gita. We don't have to travel from A to B to study the Gita, because Gita is available everywhere. It's available online, it's available in bookshops, it's available in ashram bookstalls, everywhere. So, such a great book cannot be neglected by any one of us, because it deals with the very truths and secrets of existence. It has taken upon itself conscience, prajna, as the soul, the ever living soul, as its main subject matter. So, with this uh, word of precious advice, let me conclude this episode, and with the understanding that the blessings of Ishvara as Krishna will be with us all the time, even while we sleep, to guide us through the principles and help us understand through contemplation and manana and swadhyaya or self study the greater truths that are waiting to be unfolded as the chapters go ahead, in various chapters. Okay, so let me say goodbye or pranam to namaste to all of you until we meet again next time.